The following graph shows the value of a signed Wayne Gretzky hockey card. The initial value of that card was $200, and it increases in value at $50 every year. So after the first year it's $250, the second year it's $300, $350, etc. So this is the relationship. It is relating the number of years to the value of the card. So the number of years represents the independent variable. The value dollars is a dependent variable, or our input output. Okay. So there's two things that characterize this problem. The starting value. Okay, so the initial value characterizes this problem, and it shows up right there. And the second thing that characterizes this problem is the increase per year, or the slope. Okay, so the slope is what characterizes this problem. And in a linear relation, we talked about this previously, is that any linear pattern or any line in space is defined by the angle or slope and the position of this line. And we can use this as a reference position. So the starting amount can be our reference position. So we can calculate the slope, and in this case, when we calculate the slope, our rise in this case is going to be $50. Okay, our run, or the change in x, is going to be plus 1 year. So the slope then represents $50 per year increase. And this is the rate in the problem. And so the slope represents, in this case, it is a rate. It is a rate of $50 per year increase in value. So again, when we look at slope, slope is the change in the y over the change in the x, or in other words, we call it rise over run. And the slope is, since it is a ratio of rise to run, it relates to rates. And often the slope in a problem represents the rate in the problem. So we want to connect this idea. So here we have a linear relationship which has slope. Okay, this slope is on a relationship that relates the number of months to the balance in a bank account. So when we look at the balance of this bank account in February, okay, in February the slope represents, the value is, it looks like it's $700 in February. So we're going to do 700 as the coordinate. So it's $700 in February. In August, the value has dropped to $400. Okay, so we'll write that as a coordinate of 400. So the value in August then is $400. So the change in the balance is going to be the end minus the start. So 400 minus $700. So the change is going to be negative $300. Okay, remember the change is going to be the end minus the start. So the change in the balance is negative $300, and this happened over a period of 6 months. Okay, so I'm just going to show this here. This is a negative $300 change. Okay, and this occurred over a stretch of 6 months. So the ratio of change is going to be $300, negative $300, compared to 6 months of change. And so the slope, when we work out the slope of this, the slope then is going to be equal to negative $300. Okay, remember y goes on top, the x goes on bottom, and when we simplify this, when we work out a unit rate, we get negative $50 per month. Okay, so that represents our unit rate. So this is a ratio of change as the unit rate. Okay, so a ratio of change, we can express our slope as negative $300 every 6 months. We could also express this as a unit rate of $50 per month.